Hello, my Ali Pallies, and thank you for joining me today. Now, I'll put in the description what I'm wearing today. A very simple look again. But today on my isolation station, I thought about the fact that we're all kind of cooped up indoors and we'll all be probably having to buy everything online. Possibly not as much makeup, although if you're like me, you probably will. Now, I've bought makeup online for a long time anyway, and one of the tools that keeps popping up recently that is supposed to help people to choose shades and everything online is this virtual try-on. And I've often wondered, is it really realistic? And I really wanted to ask that question because so many of us do actually, I know from your comments, buy makeup online. So I thought I'd put it to the test. And I've done it with the Charlotte Tilbury Hot Lips 2 collection, all bar one that I don't have, which is Dance Floor Princess, and of course the lip conditioner. And I went on an online tool, which is by John Lewis, and I took pictures of me virtually trying on all the lipsticks, and then I took a picture of me actually trying on the lipsticks so that we could see the difference. So let's get going and have a look at these pictures. I hope you find this useful, and I'll be back with my conclusion. Okay, so first we come on to JK Magic. Now this is quite a light lipstick, and I just think in general the light lipsticks are not true at all to the virtual try-on. See what you think. And you will see here that the virtual try-on for some reason thought I had a lot thicker lip than I have on top thick lip. Sorry, excuse me. So it's really overdrawn my lips. Okay, so now you're going to see a close-up. So as you can see, now the thing is here, I think it's just painted on a flat colour to give you an idea of the colour. But because it's actually a kissing formula, it appears a lot lighter because the light hits it. And the actual virtual one looks quite peach, whereas the real one doesn't look like that at all. So it's a no from that one. Anyway, then we're moving on to Angel Alessandra. And again, Angel Alessandra is another kissing lipstick, and it's quite light. So you're going to see now, so on the left is the virtual try-on from John Lewis, and then on the right is the actual picture of what it looks like on me. Again, it's just kind of a flat colour, but it's perhaps a little bit closer than the last one. I actually think the last one and this one look quite similar. The virtual try-ons, they look quite similar. They just look like a bit of peach drawn onto my lips. And again, completely overdrawn. But this one, I think, is a bit closer to the real deal, but not taking into consideration the light reflection. Okay, so then we're moving on to Amazing Amal. Now, I think of all of them, this was the closest to the real deal. Now, that may be because it's darker, and therefore your lips are less likely to influence the colour. And it may be because Amazing Amal is a matte formula. So without that kind of light reflection, it looks closer than the other ones. Okay, so now you're seeing it close up. So I think you can see quite close, not bad. Perhaps a tiny bit lighter, but not bad. It gives you a reasonable reflection of what the lipstick is going to look like. But again, I don't know how it's drawn my lips in that way. So we're going to move on next to, coming up, Red Hot Susan. And again, this one wasn't too bad. Again, it's darker, it's a matte formula, so it's not having to take account as much of the light hitting it. But yeah, I think this one was quite close as well. Quite a true reflection of the red. And also do tell me what you think in terms of which ones you think were the closest. Because I'd be interested to know. So again, as you can see, very, very close, I think, on this occasion. Just let you have a look at that one. I think that would give me a good idea if I was purchasing that one, which is what you want. So we're moving on to the next one, which is Patsy Red. And again, Patsy Red is a red and it's a matte formula. So I had a real problem when I was doing these pictures because it was that time of the day where the sun kept moving and I had to keep trying to move the angle to avoid the sun hitting my face. It was you can see it's really hitting my cheek there. I was trying to keep the lighting exactly the same as for the virtual photographs, but it was getting impossible. So yeah, this one again, very close. Gives a fair representation, although I think it looks a truer red on me than it does on the virtual photograph. Tell me what you think. I think it looks more of a blue-red on the actual photograph than on the virtual one. But not bad. And then we have Kareena Star. Again, Kareena Star. So Kareena Star is a coral colour. I don't think this try-on does it justice at all, because Kareena Star is a beautiful colour. The thing is that you could say it's difficult to capture the light hitting the lips, but I have seen virtual try-ons and I've seen apps where you can superimpose lipstick, and if you put glossy on it, it actually does paint on that kind of light reflection that you see. So I don't see why that can't be done. That would not have sold me the colour, to be honest. Whereas what it actually looks like doesn't look too bad. Kareena Star is very beautiful. So then we have In Love with Olivia. Now, In Love with Olivia is my favourite. It used to be Bitch Perfect, but In Love with Olivia is slightly darker. And I just love this lipstick, so much so that I've got the little refill sitting in my handbag now alongside my Daniel Sandler. It's one of my must-have in my handbag. But the virtual try-on would not have sold it to me at all. Again, it's not capturing the way that the light hits the lipstick because it is a kissing formula. And I think the real deal looks a lot better. The other one gives you a fair idea of the colour shade, but it doesn't give you an idea of the glow to the lips, which is a shame, really. So then we're moving on to the next one, and this one is Glowing Gen, which is kind of a Glowing Gen is a slightly darker version, I would say, of In Love with Olivia. So the virtual try-on didn't look that different to the virtual try-on of In Love with Olivia. And I suppose in fairness, neither does the actual one. But it's similar to In Love with Olivia. It's not capturing that light reflective glow that it gives the lips. And I think this really captures it. It would be fine if it was a matte formula. It probably is a fair representation of the colour, but it's not a fair representation of the formula. And this, it looks a lot more shimmery. Okay, so we're now moving on to the next one, which is Viva La Vergara. And again, this wasn't too bad. Again, it's dark and it's a matte formula. So I think it's able to capture the essence of the lipstick a lot more than some of the lighter ones. See what you think. It does actually, though, this one, it wasn't as good as Amazing Amal, because I think it actually looks quite a bit darker than in real life. And I think that looks more like Birkin Brown than Viva La Vergara, the actual virtual try-on. But again, tell me which one you think. So that's all the lipsticks. And I'm just going to finish off with my conclusion. And yeah, see you in a minute. Okay, so there you have it. Excuse the no makeup because I'm filming the conclusion the next morning. So the bottom line is, I think if you're going for a matte lipstick, then you're going to get a fair representation of the colour. But I do think, be very aware if you're going for a kissing formula in Charlotte's or a more moisturising formula, that when you're looking at a virtual try-on, it's going to give you an idea of the colour, but you need to take into consideration the way that the light is going to reflect on the lips. It's going to make it look quite a bit fairer than the actual colour pigment in the lipstick. So I think you need to take that into consideration when you're doing virtual try-ons. And I do think that the darker the lipstick, the more accurate it's going to be. And there is a simple reason for that, is that with fairer lipsticks, the actual skin colour of your lips is going to affect the colour more than in the darker pigment. It's just the way it is. If you were painting and you put something light on a dark colour, it's going to mix in with that colour. But if you put something dark on a dark colour, it's not going to mix in with that colour as much. So if you're looking for a light moisturising formula and you do a virtual try-on, you need to be aware that it could look quite different on your skin tone. So allow for it to be lighter because of the light reflecting, and also allow it to be mixing with your skin tone. I hope this video was helpful. Do let me know which one you think was closest to my actual try-on, because I'd love to hear from you what you thought. And I hope this was useful in terms of you doing your virtual try-ons online. So take care, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye. Love you all. Mwah.